Okay, I've just picked up a league match. It's against an offline opponent. Let's go to the match. It's against the Posh. I did check, they are doing quite well in the league. You can see here, they're in 7th, they're projected 6th, 9 wins, 3 draws, 6 losses. Goal difference of 1. And their most recent result was a 0 draw. So quite tricky to really know. They seem like a pretty balanced sort of between attacking and defending type mentality team there, I believe, overall. And we're at home. Important to note that our creative player that had, I think he had 7 or 8 assists by the time we sold him. He's gone now, he's sold, so we really are bare bones basically now. This guy who had been making an impact off the bench and not played well when he started, we don't have any choice, we have to start him now. This winger that we've bought, we actually don't have. He can play left midfield and right wing and wing back. And actually we've got a lot of players that can play wing back and left midfield, but none that can play right wing back. And even though he's quite proficient at left wing as well, so he could play there, that's fine. I don't have anyone that can play right wing. So basically I've got a sub that is very, very close to being useless at the moment. So we need another player, either another winger, either right or left winger, or a right midfielder, just somebody that he can be paired with. I mean, obviously he can play and you can have a asymmetrical tactic, but generally being more symmetrical is more effective, but we're desperate, we don't have choices, so we'll just have to do whatever it is that we can do to get match results at the moment. So as you can see, I think at the moment, even though we could go a bit more defensive. Ooh, that was lucky. And they hadn't had a chance, but obviously straight away they had a chance. We had the 2 chances we scored early in the match. At this point, it's too early for us to just try to defend the lead. If we can... Okay, so we're going to pause right now, because the reason why we were saying we would keep playing that way was because we'd had 2 shots and they'd had none. But now, actually, we're not outplaying them. So we're not outplaying them and we've got the lead. So we're better off trying to change to something else now. Our sort of classic, what I call our classic counter-attack formation. We'll try that because we know that our team, largely, it does okay for our team. Since we've changed... what's happened? They've got more possession. I guess that's overall expected. They've had 1 shot, so we're defending those chances okay, which makes sense because we're sitting back a bit. So could have done with that. I guess we should just be happy we've got a penalty, to be honest. Our team we're really, really struggling to score goals, and we've got one, we've got a lead, and we've restricted them to 3 shots. So I feel like we just kind of keep going this way because no, we don't. Okay, so now it all changes. It all changes for us. Or does it? Or does it? Okay, I was just going to say I'm not going to waste my pause clock. I'm going to wait for half time to make all the changes. Yeah, I know. doesn't really work too well trying to chat with people like this and record these videos, but it's very rude to say nothing at all, so I have to try and find the balance here. So okay, we're going to end up wasting our clock. So we've got the lead now, so that's changed things around a bit for us. And how does it change things? So we could, and we probably should, sub this very attacking player off for a slightly less attacking one. So basically get some fresh legs. Get some fresh legs and oh, no. Okay. So it all changes again. Let's go back to our short passing. We've brought on a really good passing player here. And maybe whilst I'm thinking, okay, and let's make a sub. So I want to win. I want to win this game. I'm not really particularly happy just to draw. We've gone short passing. This guy, what do we want to do? Bring on this guy, and we'll bring him a bit higher, him holding midfield. So we really want to win. Shouldn't really generally be happy with trying to do anything but win if your opponent is offline. It really shouldn't matter how good they are. Really shouldn't mean. Okay, so he's really good. Basically, his squad is really strong, but I mean ours is also ridiculously weak. But still doesn't mean we shouldn't try and win this, because we just have too many things. Too many things are basically a massive advantage. This conversation with him. I have to talk to him after. It's too distracting. So oh yeah, it's too distracting when I want to win. When I want to win. So let's just pause. We've got 2 minutes. Let's take stock here. So we generated 2 chances when we scored this goal. So in the whole rest of the match, we've only had 3 chances. So we're not doing particularly great. We've got some players who have underperformed. We've got some players who are really running low on stamina. We've got some players on the bench, but none that have any real particular quality. But we're going to make a sub anyway, because we got too many tired players. I think we sub off. Well, we need him out there because we want to try and score, but we want to sub off basically. Okay, this guy, he's coming off. This guy's going back to play centre half. This guy's here, and he's going to play central midfield. So we have done that, and I guess we're going to close down more. So we're going to close down more, and that could make a difference. This is actually pretty similar to the tactic we were playing last season. I mean, we might give up a penalty to increase risk, but right now it's just like, I want to try and win. Created a chance. We just let it play out. I mean, he has a stronger team, but I think basically between making the subs, it probably makes us, with the fresher players, it probably brings them onto par with him. Probably playing in a match out like this was like a 50-50 chance. If it was going to, I guess, if it was going to not be a draw, I think it was about a 50-50 chance which one of us was going to win it at the end there. And that's worth the risk, is what it comes down to, because you know, 50-50 chance basically means it's worth 1.5 league points, and playing for the draw is worth 1 league point. So it was worth taking the risk to potentially get 3 or none instead of 1. So that's why we played the end match out like that. And we got a point against a team that is materially stronger than us here. So we were outplayed. We probably got lucky. I mean, we were outplayed and we got a result, so I guess to a degree we were lucky, but I'm sure that this is just one of those matches that we just lose if we're offline. This is just a loss. It's just an outright loss, and because we're online, we managed to get a result here. I think it's worth just making note that this guy's finished on 66%, so he's a tricky. It was not good that he's had to play the whole match out at all. So if we start him, then we have to sub him off, and it's pretty bad to be, and because he's not good enough, he's nowhere near good enough to have still on the pitch closing matches out like this. So if we start him, we absolutely have to sub him off, and he's probably not good enough to fall into that bracket where you have to waste a sub on him every single match. So basically he's going to be on the bench from now on. He's going back to the bench where he was actually pretty reasonable impact sub. So we'll go back to that. We're going to try and come up with a different solution for our tactic, I think. He's the only player we have right now, realistically, that we could consider starting in this attacking midfield role. So we're going to have to change tactic to not have that role, to something else. Okay. Thanks for watching. I think before our next league match, because of this tactical change and stuff, we're going to end up having to play a few friendlies to test some stuff out. Okay, thanks for watching, and it's also possible that we might pick up another player. We're trying to get one. We just don't want to. We don't want to overpay, so we're trying to get one. There's not really any point getting a player unless they actually have some quality at this point. So we're trying to get a quality player. That's a very hard thing to do if you don't want to pay good money for them. But we're trying. If we get one, that's obviously going to change things as well. So okay, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.